What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the other side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
And Daniel Acevedo.
How's it going, guys?
What's going on? So apparently I'm going through puberty. My voice cracked in there. Welcome to the podcast. So Monday, Tuesday, our topics. Wednesday, discussion. Thursdays, Ask a CISSP. So that episode will be Mariah Simone Denton was a great guest. He's more into the video game and esports sector of IT and cyber. So definitely check that one out. It's a really cool conversation. And it kind of bleeds into all the adjacent stuff, right? How does this applicable to IT, to cybersecurity, and then ultimately to multimedia and production. So really cool interview. I hope to do some more episodes like that as well, because I think people like the Matthew Hill with him talk about Black history, as well as Sam Brown had him on a couple of times talking about him and how he's an author, and now he's a selling author as well. So it's cool to have these episodes as well. So definitely tune in for all that stuff. Check out the newsletter. It comes out every week. It's also called the Weekly Rundown, and it sums up all of the episodes that have a daily article and then all of the other slice of life stuff we do. But without further ado, Shannon, how was your week?
Man, it was pretty good. Took in a few more bits of media, you know what I mean, watching some things that were streaming. But one of the highlights of my week, I know I'm gonna sound like a sucker when I say this though, but my wife and I had a date night last night, man, and I love them. We're starting to do them more often.
Okay.
And we had a date night, tried a new restaurant that was expensive. You know, it's usually what it is, right? Like, let's try this place that we gotta dress up a little bit for, you know what I mean? Like at least business casual, you know.
Right. Put the buttons up on.
Yeah, you know. So it's just like I'm going to work. Like I go to work, you know, people are like, "Man, you dress a little bit too much." I'm like, "It's business casual for me, man. So button up, some slacks, some shoes, maybe a wingtip or two, you know." But yeah. So no, it was a fun time. I always enjoy the time with her and just talk about whatever, right? Things in life, whatnot. Because throughout the week, it just gets a little busy, and just it's kind of our catch up time, and I love it. So I try to do that more often. But when it came to the media I was taking in, so I talked about this before, Blood of Zeus, right? I talked about this last week. I was watching Blood of Zeus on Netflix. So the first season, I was down for. Second season, not as great to me.
Oh no, don't say that. I watched the first episode of season 2 last night.
Okay, look, tell me
that was okay.
Yeah, tell me what you think. It's not bad, but compared to the first season, I don't think it's as good.
Ah, man.
Okay. So like I haven't been like that first season. I think I watched it in 2 days. I got through those 8 episodes. I was like, oh man, this is what's up. But second season, I'm like, I can leave it be if need be, right? But yeah, Blood of Zeus was something that I watched. Let's see. I got a list here because I was like, I watched a few things. So comedy special, Joe Coy, live from Brooklyn. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Joe Coy, but dude's hilarious to me, right?
Okay.
He brings it again. Yeah, he brings it again in the one from Brooklyn. Good stuff. Good stuff to look at. Continue with New Girl. So like still watching New Girl. I had seen it before, but still watching that, and that's very funny. And again, that's an older one, right? Like, it hasn't been on the air for a good probably 6 years or so, something like that. But
yeah, a lot.
You know,
okay.
Yeah. Lopez versus Lopez, still watching that with the wife, right? Every once in a while when we can get down and watch TV, watch that one. But that's pretty good. Let's see, what is it? Something else I watched, right? And I've seen it before, but I don't know what made me think about it. I think because I kept seeing it come up, was RoboCop, but it was the new one. It was the new RoboCop.
Yeah.
2014. I like it. Like, I've seen it before, right? Like, I was already watching it because, like, sometimes I get in these bouts where, like, I'm gonna be doing something, but I just want something on in the background. So I'm like, let me turn on something that I've already seen. But then I end up watching it, and I'm not doing what my primary purpose was. Whether it be like folding laundry or doing whatever, right? Like, I'm like, let me sit down and watch this. You know what I mean? Like, it's better than I remember it being. But yeah, the new RoboCop. So did you not like the new RoboCop? I kind of sensed you were like,
It's not that I didn't like it. I just didn't think it was good as the original.
I think it's a nostalgia factor, man.
You think that's what it is? Yeah, it could be. It could be.
100%.
That older one is like,
that's what you say. The old.
Yeah, you don't like the original, like, because the original was the everybody thought that the U.S. was going to go to complete hell in the 90s, so they were like, Detroit's going to be under martial law because the drug dealers are going to take over, right?
Not that far from martial law. No drug dealers, but Oh yeah, the
To see
treasure
these
place.
cybernetic cops and robots who would have to police the streets. Like it was supposed to be kind of crazy, but I don't know. I think it is the nostalgia, right? The RoboCops, the Running Mans, all that stuff.
Okay.
And that's what I think too. Is like there's some stuff we grew up with that's just like, man, I'll never think that's not good. You know what I mean? Because like after I watched that one, I was like, all right, let me start adding to my list. Let me look at the old ones because it was on. Was it Hulu or Netflix, whichever one it was? It had all three of the RoboCops, like the original ones. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I got to go watch those now too, right? But so yeah, like I don't know, man. I like when they update stuff. I know a lot of people are like, oh, they don't come up with anything new in Hollywood, this, that, and the third. But like, think about this, like what you were seeing in the '80s and what they can do now. In the that was 2014. Just imagine if they come out with RoboCop in 2026, like what it'll look like and what everything they'll be doing, man.
It works. So it works, but you have to be very selective. Like Prey, that was great. Like they, you know, what I mean, like to do Predator and go back in time and do it in that setting with the people, the aesthetics, like that was perfect. But then you have Total Recall, and that you just made a new movie, and it wasn't a bad movie, but it wasn't Total Recall. There was no Martians, there was no eyeballs popping out of the head. There's none of that, and all that was missing.
But they did some callbacks in it though, right? Like they still did some callbacks, right? Like
they did with the face.
The face, yep. So yeah.
That new one was not good though. That new Total Recall was not good.
No, I thought it was a decent movie. It just wasn't.
I fell asleep. Is it Colin Farrell, right? Has Colin Farrell?
Yeah, Colin Farrell. And
I fell asleep when I woke up and it was over, and I was like, "What happened?"
I love the aesthetic, like having that
yes, cyberpunk kind of
cyberpunk,
like,
Asian meets US flavor, right? Like they do. What was it? It was one of my favorite of all time, Blade Runner. The new Blade Runner was good.
I like the new Blade Runner more than I like the Total Recall.
I didn't like that.
But you didn't like the original though, did you?
I didn't like the original either though. Yeah, I didn't like the original either. But like the new one, Ryan Gosling, right? That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
The new Blade Runner, right? Yeah, I was like, yeah.
I liked it. And they're doing what's it called? They're doing a TV series is coming out. I'm so excited. Like Blade Runner is one of my favorite sci-fi movies of all time because it spurred a lot of what we saw afterward. Like, because I think Blade Runner came out in '77. Mm-hmm. So like being an '80s kid, like all that sci-fi, it aged so well. Because even when they did the remake, they used a lot of the aesthetics from the original. I'm just like, that's not bad.
Which streaming service is doing it?
It was on Max at one point.
The new series that they're gonna do?
No, the new series. Is it on Max? I want to say it is on Max. The new series.
It would have to be one of those premium ones, like or Showtime series.
And I can't remember the actress that's going to be in it, but she's very good pick. You guys banter while I look this up.
What else? What else you get into, Shannon?
So no, I mean that's kind of it for me. But like some of the old stuff, like I don't know, I was never really into it as much as other people were. Like especially the '80s stuff. Like, but it's weird, right? So like the Schwarzenegger '80s stuff, like I'm down for it because it's nothing but shoot 'em up and like terrible. Yeah, I can get past that, right? Like Commando, like how does that happen? Like Commando is not like it cannot really happen like that, to where he just travels to an island somewhere. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, man. Predator, like the original Predator, I'm down for it. You know what I mean? But like you have to be able to suspend disbelief when it comes to different stuff like this, and I can do it.
Aliens, they were Alien and Aliens. Not Prometheus though, not you.
It's funny though because you say that. Yeah, you say that because I was kind of the same. I wasn't into it during that time. When I got older and I went back, and I would start looking at those lists of movies, like the top 100 movies or top 100 this and this genre. I go back and watch them, and then I really got into them. And then I like became a cult classic, or like I understand why they like it, but they hold up really well, even though they're done in the 70s and 80s though. And but for action movies, you have to suspend this belief of like what's going on and just enjoy it for what it is. If not, you're never gonna have a big time watching an action movie. Then what's the point watching it? Yeah, just enjoy it for what it is.
You know what's crazy is one of my coworkers, he went and saw last week The Fall Guy, right? So remember The Fall Guy was a TV series. Maybe if you guys didn't know, it was a TV series back in the day. Right? Yeah. The Fall Guy that has Ryan Gosling in it was a TV series. So I'm on Rotten Tomatoes and I'm reading the reviews and it kind of kills me, right? So like some of these audience members, I don't know if they just want to be critics and just want to bring stuff down all the time, or they think they want to see Shakespeare with every movie that comes out. It's ridiculous. Like you've got to know what you're getting into when you go to a movie. Like don't go to it and expect to see Shakespeare every time. Like it's Ryan Gosling as a stuntman that when you look at the trailer, you see there's all types of stuff blowing up and sparks everywhere. Like, don't expect
That's
a
how you
lot
would
of
think
plot
it would
from that.
be. Yeah.
Yeah. But like when you read some of these reviews, they were like, "Oh, plot was thin and this, that, and the third." Like I think
that was Rambo. That was the latest Rambo. They had
Was
beef
it?
with that. Yeah, they were like, oh, he's so one dimensional. Like, yeah, PTSD. You keep messing with him, he kills you.
Vietnam vet. Like, yeah,
That's it.
like, you're
It's
asking
a
too
power
much.
tripping fantasy.
Yeah.
That's it. They're like, it's just, I didn't like it. I'm like, what?
Come on, people.
Did he kill people in interesting ways? Done.
And it got more and more graphic as it went on because you had the one where he was in, was it Cambodia or whatever, where he was the boat driver? That one was crazy graphic.
Oh, man. He was just a big square. He looked like a walking refrigerator. He had the poncho on the whole time. I was like, is he getting ready for something? He was murdering people. He had on the 50 cal. Just cut people in half.
Yeah.
What else do you want?
Yeah.
So Michelle Yeoh will be in Blade Runner 2049, and it'll be on Amazon Prime.
Wow.
Cannot wait.
Nice.
Because there's already a Blade Runner TV show called Black Lotus. I haven't watched it yet. I was waiting for it to finish up. I don't know if it's animated or what, but it's on Netflix or something like that. I have not checked that out. But 2049, I'm super pumped for it because I like the remake. It's up there.
Just it's enjoyable.
Michelle Yeoh will never not be employed. She's like 60 years old now, man. She does it, man. Like she goes out there and she gets it in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, man, good for her. Seriously.
Yeah, she's doing big things. So I'm very excited about this upcoming series. So I don't know when it drops though. It was announced back in 22, so you would think sometime in the very near future.
Yeah,
soonish. Yeah. But yeah, cannot wait. Crouch Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and my Blade Runner. Say less.
Didn't she just get an Oscar or something for Anywhere All at Time All at Once?
Yes.
Or
I gotta watch it again. I watched it and I was tired. I didn't enjoy it.
I watched it. I don't know what I was expecting. It's okay, but I think it kind of missed. Yeah, I like it. I love her though. I love her in anything. She's done everything. Like Crazy Rich Asians. She's been like, freaking just everything.
Yeah, she's an amazing actress.
Yeah, she is. Range is like.
But Daniel, that's all I did for the week, man. What about you, man?
I'm just man, it'll be a short one for me. It's still in processing and everything, But I think we've only been here for like a week and a half, not even. We'll hit 2 weeks on Wednesday. So I think we're moving through it pretty quick. So Monday, hopefully we'll get a car, and then sometime next week we'll look at houses. Then I'll be able to settle in and get better internet than I am running on right now, putting you guys through purgatory with these uploads for these episodes. But for some reason, I don't know why, during the week though, I rewatched Dune 1 and Dune 2. And I've come to the conclusion that I really like the movies. I don't know if it's... So I know they've had like an old TV series that did this, and it did hit the mark back in the 80s. And the first book I tried to read, and it's just really old. It's very old. And the writing style of the author I didn't mesh with me. I don't like authors that do sci-fi or fantasy that they write in a way where they're trying to make it more difficult for the reader to enjoy. So that's why, when I gravitate to fantasy or sci-fi, I like the younger, the teenage genre a little bit more, because sometimes those authors, they understand the book is to be enjoyed. I want, like Game of Thrones is very famous for this. Like, if you try to read a Game of Thrones book, that guy will overcomplicate a fucking, dinner for no reason and write 15 pages about it. Like, bro, I don't care what they're eating. Can we get to the next part where somebody gets killed? Like, I'm trying to figure that part out. So,
right.
But what the director and author of this movie's done, the movies are good. They're solid. The cast is loaded, especially the second movie, man. What's his name? Willy Wonka, Timothy Chalamet or whatever.
Chalamet or whatever. Yeah.
He's throwing fire out of his fingertips, man. He's like pitching a fucking no hitter. He does his thing in that movie, and I really enjoy it. Especially the second half of the movie. It's really fun. But that's kind of really all I did. Go ahead. What were you gonna say, Shannon?
So I've seen the trailers for the first one, and it didn't interest me. I'm very good at this for me. I could look at a trailer and be like, that's not going to be my jam. And sometimes I acquiesce, and I'm like, all right, let me watch it just to see. And I'm like, nope, I called it. You know what I mean? The first Dune, I'm like, that looks like it's going to be boring. And when I talk to people like that are actually Dune fans, like they like the one from was it 80s? Was the first movie? Whatever
Yeah,
it
it's
was.
like a TV
They're
series,
like,
yeah, whatever.
was it a TV series? I thought they did a movie. Maybe it
They
was.
did a
Maybe it was
movie. They did a movie, and then they also did like a series. I think
Yeah.
maybe it was a couple movies. I might be wrong.
But like people that are like Dune heads, I guess you could call them. They're like, yeah, that first one is slow, and I'm like, yeah, I could see it from the trailer. Like,
It is. It's
But
a
the
slow
second one was
burn. The second one is like it's pretty go the whole time. It's funny though because the first one it's it's a little slow, and then there's a part where it picks up and there's a lot of action, and then it's like slow for the rest of the movie. It's like very slow. So I don't know. But it's kind of all I really got into. I'm trying to think. I might have watched a couple episodes of anime here and there, but like it's just been getting used to the rhythm of like the work and getting all my accounts created and like getting laptops and it's the government, it's in the military, so, and I'm a contractor, I'm not actually like in the Navy, so I go to offices and they're like, I don't know what to do with you, and I was like, I cannot be the first person that's a contractor that's coming to work.
Yeah, ever.
I'm not breaking this in, bro. Like I know people that work with that from my company that work here, like they're okay. You guys got to figure this out for me. So a lot of that, a lot of getting to an office to do a walk-in that opens at 8, being the second person and waiting 45 minutes, like those kind of things, so the good old times. But yeah, I can't complain. I love it over here. My family's happy. We're having a great time. I promise for the newsletter, I will have some cool picks next week. And maybe I'll do like a running log of this week because we got a lot of stuff is going on for the family. Just like, Monday, like 1 or 2 sentences and stuff like that. So you guys can kind of get a feel for what it's like living over here. Highly recommend though. Just even come to visit, or if you ever get a chance to just work here a little bit, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, definitely shoot that over. Like I'm living vicariously through you, right? I still can't get over there. And what's crazy is everybody. So I talked to Rico Rando 2 weeks ago, right? That was last week's Ask a CISSP. First duty station was Japan. I talked to Mariah Simone Denson this week. She lived in Japan for a while. I'm just like all these people I am associated with in some form or fashion have all been over there. I put Korea down on my dream sheet. Worldwide, short, extended, long, Korea. Just give me Korea. They send me to Turkey. I was like, what? I just was not meant to be over there.
Like the best we could do is Turkey.
I got to be honest with you. So my father was in the army, and I was in Japan in my youth. And some of my memories, I can still remember. I was young, like we came back to the States. I was probably 4, but I can still remember stuff from Japan that I'm like, I remember that, and I remember it being so fun.
It's so cool.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah, it's just the safety here, man. It's like something ridiculous. Just like just not having to worry about like. If my kid goes to school, like the shootings in the school, or like exposure to drugs, like or violence, these kind of things. I mean, bullying will happen anywhere in the world, but if I can like remove those extracurriculars out of my stress factor, and then give her like more of her family and a wholesome life, that's kind of why we did it. Anyway, we should get to Ryan.
So like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We are at almost 1,300 on the newsletter. I promise, like I don't know how many people from the newsletter listen through this episode. I will stop posting stray episodes in the newsletter. I will figure it out. Because what happens is you go to make an article and it defaults to newsletter, and I have to opt out basically. And every week I opt in by accident at least one time. So like I'll drop a regular article into the newsletter bucket, and that gets blasted to everyone. It lands in their inbox, and it has to be annoying. So this week I'm going for no stray episodes. It will be just the newsletter, and the newsletter bucket is the goal. But so I had a really good down with Mariah Simone Denson. So she's from Global Patch. She's the founder and president, video gamer, educator, entrepreneur. She runs a Unreal development chapter here in Jacksonville, Florida. Like really plugged into all things gaming, IT. For BIPOC. It was a really cool interview. I hope to do some more like that because I think it really is adjacent to what we do and it feeds in well. So aside from that, just huge, family things. Like Monday was graduation for my daughter, so she is. So it was crazy. Like her week was crazy. So Monday she graduates. That's always it was amazing. Lots of pictures, lots of yelling and hugs and all that good stuff. And then what was it? Friday was her freshman orientation, college. So she'll be going. She'll be starting in a couple weeks. So she's going to go to summer term. She's wanting to jump right into it. So I'm like, that's a whirlwind. To you're an adult, you have graduated high school. To here's your freshman year of college. And my wife went to it because I had to work, and I had an appointment for my tooth, which is still not fixed, but getting there, getting closer. But lots of pictures and X-rays and stuff like that. I just broke it. It wasn't as bad as I thought. So they're just like, we can wait. We just have to do it before it starts to become a problem. But that's the treatment plans. I digress. But so my wife went, and she said, my wife was basically saying like a lot of it was telling the parents to do not hold their hands, because we are not holding their hands. Like, give them basic support, but we are not going to contact you about their grades. We're not going to contact, like, based on all this stuff. Like, don't hit us up for this stuff, because they are adults, and we will not share it with you. So you need to start to get them off the training wheels. And then for her, it was just a lot of like, this is what college is, and this is where you can go and what you can do, and here's where you get your resources. So for her, it was information overload. For my wife, it was the exact opposite. It was like, here's what you're not going to know. So they came back with two different total experiences, but super excited. I can't wait for her to start. Then we'll do some hand holding and whatnot. Like she plans on staying home for now because the campus isn't that far away, and just going from there. So I'm super excited for her. Then Junior will start his junior year, so that's keep trying to beat into his brain. This is your most important year of high school. Because this is make or break. This is when you select your schools, and then your senior year, you just need to survive. Because you already will know where you're going. And then the youngest, he is in excuse me, he's in coding camp for the summer. So 2 weeks of Roblox. I got to play one of his games. It was really cool, like doing amazing things in that space. And then the third week is robotics. The fourth week is AI, I want to say. Yeah. So super excited for him. He's loving it. He comes home and he goes on YouTube and he searches up scripts, and he continues to build outside the camp. So he's really loving it. What else I have going on? I played more Final Fantasy, so I'm midway through chapter 5, going to chapter 6. I think there's 13 chapters, I want to say. I don't want to go too far ahead because I'm afraid somebody's spoiling it for me. But so far 100% it. Still 100% in it, going very slowly, methodically through the game. And then I'm going to download Street Fighter. I'm going to do it. I've been jonesing for a fighting game. It's between Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 6. And I think I've narrowed it down to Street Fighter 6. I think will be the game I download finally. Because I tried playing MK1, and I love the story. I love the characters. I cannot do anything in that game. But Street Fighter seems to be a little bit easier for whatever reason. I don't know why. So if I'm going to go with Street Fighter 6, I'll probably pick it up for a while. It's on sale. So both of them are 50% off. I can be okay with not playing them for very, very long until that new DBZ fight game comes out. Sparking Zero comes out in November. I don't know if you guys seen the trailer. Looks amazing. Amazing.
Anything Dragon Ball is gonna look great, right? Like,
man, looks amazing. So I'm definitely getting that one when it drops. And then aside from that, just trying to do more stuff with the show, right? As you can see, the aspect ratio has changed. I'm now a talking head. I bought a camera for the correct aspect ratio for what we do. And then behind me, you see the Bills Mafia flag, because I can't get the green screen working right yet. So you see the green screen. If I feel the back is right there. But still work in progress. I'm trying to get that thing working properly, but just trying to do more with the podcast while also doing less, as counterproductive as that sounds. I just need to pare down some of the production a little bit, because like last week I was late on every single episode because of one workflow change where ChatGPT decided to call in sick on Monday morning, I want to say, and that messed me up for the entire week. Like so much of my workflow depends on AI because I'm a one-man army that if it has one hiccup, I'm done. So I apologize everything was late, but like your thumbnails, your transcriptions, all that stuff is AI assisted. So hey, if AI calls in sick, guess what? I'm hosed. You're like, well, why don't you just go to Gemini? Because it's going to sound different. It's going to have a different flavor. I haven't trained it. So it would be, in my opinion, a bad experience. It'd be jarring to switch. So that's why I just have to wait for my number one employee to come back in. So, but that was my week. So, any plans coming up in the near future? I know you're getting settled in, Daniel. Anything for you, Shannon? Well, you'll be
heading back home just to travel, visit family for a little over a week. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, the children, all they care about is to get a hotel with a pool. It's like, okay, check, right? That's all
make it happen.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay, that's what's up. So I think before the end of the month, I'll be on another Tech Tuesday. I think I'll
Nice.
be talking about security and GPTs. So that's coming up. And then at the end of the month, I'll be on a computer coach training class. It's called The Foundations for Success: Early Career Pathways in Cybersecurity. So it'll pair well with our previous discussion. So that will be on the 28th. You can sign up. It's in the newsletter. I'm sure I'm going to post about it on, excuse me, on LinkedIn a few times before it actually happens. Excuse me. Thank you. My voice is shot. So definitely tune in for that. It'll be June 28th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard. So it's free. So definitely pop in if you can. If not, I'll share the episode after it's recorded as well. So, but yeah, tune in for all the things and all the places. It's either the other side of the firewall, the other side of the FW, or Ask a CISSP. We have episodes every day of the week. Monday, Tuesday are our topics. Wednesday, discussion. Thursdays, Ask a CISSP. And then Fridays, just like this. Everything else. Last thing, Godzilla -1. I saw it last night. Is not only the best Godzilla movie of all time. I've watched a few. Is the best one of all time. It was the only one where I actually cared about things aside from Godzilla. I've never seen a Godzilla movie that had a cast of characters that were actually not just people running around screaming Godzilla.
Yeah.
And I was from start to finish. I was like, this is great. And then it surprised me at the end. I was like, wow, okay. I hope this becomes a series, which they allude to. It probably will get a sequel. So I guess it'll be Godzilla 0.
Yeah.
If this one was -1. But yeah, great. So tune in for all the things, all the places. Subscribe. Trying to hit 500 by the end of the month, 1,000 by the end of the year. Stay safe, stay secure.